Just in, Tim Walz faces stunning new scandal just hours ahead of primetime debate. Tim Walz, I believe, is the Manchurian candidate. I mean, what American citizen, regular average Joe, right? He's supposed to be a regular average citizen. You know, this guy wear flannel shirts, love hunting, and all these things they try to portray him as, which we don't believe. Dude is really suspect, really suspect. But that's a whole nother story. But so he's supposed to be this average American Joe, right? Why does he travel to China so much? What is going on with him traveling to China and all these things? What is all this really about? Is he the Manchurian candidate? We're gonna talk a little bit about it. We're gonna play a clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me on those platforms as well. Also, check me out tonight. I'm gonna be going live tonight for the VP debate, so check me out there. All right, so let's check out this news. Now, this comes from Trending Politics from Chris Powell. He reports that emerging reports now challenge Governor Tim Walz's prior assertions about his visits to China, casting doubt on his account of traveling there in 1989 as a teacher during the Tiananmen Square demonstrations, a period marked by the tragic suppression of pro-democracy protesters by the Chinese government. The news surfaces just before the upcoming vice presidential debate Tuesday night, where Walz's contentious ties to China and his penchant for stretching the truth could be focal points for criticism. Notably, before his political career, Walz was known to frequently lead student trips to China, raising questions about his connections and activities during these formative years. As it turns out, even his allies at CNN have confirmed the report about Walz's involvement or lack thereof during the Tiananmen protests. Now, his campaign is scrambling to downplay his other trips to China. When CNN inquired whether Walz was in China during the Tiananmen Square protests, the Harris campaign could not present any evidence to back up Walz's assertion. The discrepancy was first highlighted by Minnesota Public Radio, NPR, and detailed by the Washington Free Beacon. In 2014, congressional hearing commemorating the 25th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, Walz, then a U.S. congressman, recounted his experience during that time. He claimed that he had been in Hong Kong in May of 1989, just before the Chinese government's military crackdown on student protesters. Walz described witnessing the events unfold from Hong Kong and stated, quote, "I still remember the train station in Hong Kong. There was a large number of, especially European, I think, very angry that we would still go after what had happened. But it was my belief at that time that the diplomacy was going to happen on many levels." Let's just play this clip here. Here we go.
As a young man, I was just going to teach high school in Foshan in Guangdong, and was in Hong Kong in May of '89. And as the events were unfolding, several of us went in, and I still remember the train station in Hong Kong. It was a large number, especially European, I think, very angry that we would still go after what had happened. But it was my belief at that time that the diplomacy was going to happen on many levels, certainly people to people, and the opportunity to be in a Chinese high school at that critical time seemed to me to be really important. And it was a very interesting summer, to say the least, because if you recall, as we moved in that summer and further on, and the news blackouts and things that went on, you certainly can't black out news from people if they want to get it. And I can still clearly remember the fall when the Berlin Wall fell and what was happening.
He talk about you can't block out the news people want to get from the guy who says he wanted to censor people. I think it's funny. Let's see, where did we leave off at? When CNN sought clarification on the number of times Walz had traveled to China, a spokesperson for the Harris campaign stated that the number was likely closer to 15. That's still a lot. Quote, the campaign was unable to produce documentation to back up Walz's statement that he was there during the uprising, NPR wrote, when dissecting Walz's experiences with China. A 1989 news report from the Chedron Record and other from the Alliance Times-Herald indicated that Walz did not leave the United States for China until August 1989, 2 months after the massacre took place. This guy whole career is a lie. He just lies about everything. This is crazy. During May and June of that year, Walz was pictured and mentioned in local Nebraska newspapers while touring the National Guard storeroom in Alliance, Nebraska. Before their wedding, Gwen Walz revealed to the Nebraska-based Star-Herald newspaper that they chose to get married on the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre because, quote, he wanted to have a date he'll always remember. On Monday, a whistleblower revealed potential ties between Walz and the Chinese Communist Party. You know, I talked about that as well. He definitely have ties to the CCP. The GOP-led House Oversight Committee chair and Rep. James Comer issued a subpoena to the Department of Homeland Security for documents related to the allegations. The whistleblower pointed to a Microsoft Teams chat among DHS employees discussing Walz and his alleged CCP connections. If the allegations are proven true, this could have significant political consequences for Walz and the Democrat Party just weeks before the election. I think he's a Manchurian candidate. I believe he definitely have ties to the CCP. I can't wait to see this report that'll come out pertaining to this. How many people in the Democrat Party has close ties to the CCP? Does the Chinese Communist Party really run the Democrat Party? Y'all let me know. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.